In 2006, Empower Peace launched its largest program to date, Women to Women. Since then, over 600 young women from over 40 countries around the world have come to Boston to be trained to become leaders. These carefully selected young women, chosen from thousands of applicants, are exposed to women leaders in government, business, media, and numerous other fields. The week encourages, inspires, and motivates these young women to return to their homes and make a positive change in their communities, their schools, and eventually their countries. But the question is, do they make a difference? To answer that, we'll hear from 5 young women-to-women participants, girls from Algeria, Egypt, Iraq, Libya, and the U.S. And we'll also hear analysis conducted by students and staff at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University, who for the past several years have been conducting social media workshops at Women to Women. Together, their words will provide the answer.
Women to Women motivated me and showed me that I can make change in my society.
Women to Women was the way for me to be another different person from inside and from outside.
When I participated in Women to Women, I was really inspired. I became more confident. And that's obviously in my society. Everyone tells me, oh, you are changed in this way.
I live in white suburbia. I'm not really exposed to the women I met at Women to Women. But after that, I'm just so willing to dive into the unknown and dive into a diversity because I know that's what it takes to make a difference.
Being motivated is one thing, but what about action? What did they do with what they learned?
Domestic violence in Iraq is a major problem. Many women here are subject to this type of violence, and they are even unable to talk about it. So thus I decided to work on this problem when I returned back to my country. We had the idea of visiting high schools because they are the building blocks of our community. We visited high school for girls and another high school for boys. We gave them a workshop about violence, how we talk to the girls and boys in the same way. We talked about how violence is a bad way of treating situations.
Fatima in Iraq was able to motivate her male colleagues to tackle this female issue.
We had a workshop about how to empower women and what are the rights of women. So we also chose a boys' high school to talk about the domestic violence and how not to violate women, because women are our sisters, our mothers, and our daughters and friends. They are everywhere. They are half of the community.
And what we did was like a little 3-day workshop where we met a group of girls, and it was advertised and just random girls were coming. We were 25 girls. They had to work in groups. We had people coming over speaking about women in Islam and how women, Islam empowers women, they don't, the contrary of what people think, that women have to stay at home, and how women should go out and to solve problems. And the motto for it was, I am a Muslim woman, I am a creative woman. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to come up with creative solutions to problems in our Libyan society. And the girls worked on 4 problems, and then we came up with a report. We sent the report to the General Assembly, which is like the parliament that we have. We posted them on Facebook, and we tried to just basically spread around the world of the solutions and what we made. One of the feedback that really struck me was a girl that said that it was the first time that she's been in an environment in Libya where women discussed something other than marriage and clothes and traditional things. And she said she's so excited. She said that she really wants to meet with more women to discuss real problems, because in our society it's always thought that problems or political problems are something that men should discuss. So, and the girls were really, really excited, and actually now they're thinking of starting it in university, in the art department in the University of Tripoli, where girls will just meet and just talk about things like that.
I've generated a campaign called Hub the World, and from its name, it's obvious that it's tackling the women's rights. As I believe from woman to woman that women's rights are human's rights and human's rights are women's rights. So I tried to tackle the women's rights from my own perspective in my community and make a difference in the Egyptian stereotypes about women's rights and women in Egypt or in Cairo, how they affect the community. But at the beginning, we were just working on sexual harassment, and now we are working on different topics, but all related to women's rights. At the beginning, we were just 5, and I was the only one from Women to Women or from Empower Peace. Then we came to be at the end 47, and then I will make interviews for another 21 volunteer that they are going to participate with us. The main idea of the workshop is to make connection, relationships. It's like a kind of or element of healing for them to make connections, relationships between each other, and to have a partner. So that partner can help you to be a critical thinker maybe, or to make something different in your life.
You can see my action plan was about creating an association, which is called SOS Girls in Need. This association was created by a group of teachers and students, among them me. Its goal is to offer help for poor girls who are really in need of materials to continue their studies. Example, school things, clothes, etc. I collect money every day from different companies in order to offer help for these girls. My second, actually, it will be my next activity, is visiting infirmary, finally, to offer help for those old people who are neglected, especially old women. I'm going to discuss with them their life and their experiences.
I decided what to do in college with my life thanks to Women to Women. I was very unsure for a long period of time, and then I went there and I knew I had to travel and constantly meet inspirational people in my life in order to make a difference in the world. And since then, I've never looked back. After meeting all the women from North Africa and the Middle East, I knew the best way I could connect with them and make connections from my country to theirs was to study Arabic. So since Women to Women, I've really had my future set. I feel so confident in what I'm going to do, and that is going to make a difference.
And finally, there's the connection aspect of Women to Women.
Well, the fact that these connections transcended regional, issue, age, as well as cultural boundaries, and is incredibly significant. I think these outcomes together demonstrate the effectiveness of the Women to Women Conference as a very promising incubator for female empowerment and leadership, as well as a future citizen diplomacy model to be emulated.
Why does this matter is a very good question. It matters because women really are the future of what's going to go on in that part of the world. And the reason is because they run families, they're becoming much better educated, they are taking all that energy that they've had and pent up, and they want to turn it into something useful.
The women involved in this conference are no doubt incredibly impressive, but if they're to become political leaders, or thought leaders, or global leaders in their respective issue areas of interest, then they're going to need to develop new intercultural and international perspectives. And this conference is a great way for them to start doing that, for them to start meeting and establishing strong relationships with other women from other countries.
I've always been that kind of person who wanted to make change in my society. And I think that what Women to Women gave me was like that little push, that little fuel to just get me going, that assurance that I can make it. And that's how I started, and I don't want to stop.